And the excitement for the World Cup continues right here in the 11 Alive Plus Streaming Center. We're going to turn now to our Molly Oak, who is joining us. Molly, thank you as always. We love having you in here. And it's not just us who are excited about the World Cup. A lot of folks, and you got to talk to some of them, are busy getting ready for this major event coming to our city.
And they're talking about how it's just unmatched excitement, unmatched interest right now. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the ticket lottery is open. Everyone's clicking it. I feel like I've heard it from all of my friends, and we are one of the lucky 16 cities that gets to host some matches.
The World's Game coming to Atlanta and other North American cities as well. But Molly, walk us through, you got to talk with some folks who are paying particularly close attention as we are in the home stretch here, 100 days out. Bring us up to speed on what you learned.
Yeah, so a couple of cool things that we're talking about. So today was they called it an activation workshop, which means there was representatives from 40 of the teams that have made it into the tournament so far. They are talking about anything from planning purposes, anything you think about logistics, that's what they're talking about during this workshop. We got to sit in on a couple of the meetings, which was really interesting. One of them was talking about the new technology they're going to be using this year. Another one was talking about turf. I did not realize that was a big deal to a lot of people. Reggie tells me that is huge deal, the turf and how it works. And some people were asking about, apparently Mercedes-Benz, the field there is a little bit springier than they like. So
makes a huge difference for all these athletes, right?
Right. I mean, I remember when I played lacrosse, if you played on certain turf, you would see ACL tears and things like that. So it was interesting to see how in the weeds, pun unintended.
In the turf,
yeah,
in this case.
They were getting with a lot of these conversations.
And what was, you tell us a little bit about this, but what was the reception to some of these questions from organizers and from people involved? Because I imagine, as you described, it was a pretty wide-ranging conversation, and it's crunch time now for planners.
Yeah, this is kind of the final steps. They seem to have all of their answers and all their ducks in a row, so to speak. Everything seemed to be laid out. Was excited to hear about a lot of the technology they're going to be introducing. One that really stood out to me, of course, they're using AI. I feel like that's kind of just the way of the world right now. The refs are going to have body cameras.
Really?
Yeah, that's a new thing for them. And then they had semi-automatic or automated offsides. It'll be fully automated, but they will have some background to be able to re-look at it in case they do call the automation. But the ref body cameras, I'm very excited for.
Is that going to be a live feed? Is that something we can watch in the broadcast, do you know?
That I didn't know.
Or is it more for VAR?
That's what I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if that's just an extra camera for them to punch to, so to speak. But I hope we can just use a side. I just want to see from the ref's point of view the entire time.
What a unique perspective. And Molly, it's such a big deal for our city too. Not just the teams that have qualified, although of course it is for them and for all the athletes, the coaching staff, but the city as a whole. This is a major event, years in the making of preparation.
Yeah, we talk about this is the largest World Cup in history. So 3 countries, 16 cities. Atlanta is one of the lucky ones. And what was really cool to hear is FIFA was talking about specifically why they loved Atlanta as a host city.
And Molly, hang on. Okay, let's listen then.
In general, Atlanta has been a great partner to us. And I'm not only saying that because the stadium manager is a fellow Austrian. Maybe a coincidence, but we had, really, really good relationships. Atlanta is an exciting market. As we all know, people show up, for all sorts of sporting events. That's great. And I think what makes Atlanta very special, at least for myself, is the hospitality. Southern hospitality is not just a myth, but I got to experience it firsthand. And, everybody's excited in Atlanta for the World Cup, and Atlanta shows up like not many other cities do. So I'm really, really happy that this workshop is taking place in Atlanta.
My favorite part of that soundbite was Atlanta shows up.
Yeah, and how about Southern hospitality is
right.
real? That was a good one too.
I'm wanting to know what restaurants they've taken them to. They were doing a tour around Atlanta this afternoon, which would have been really fun to see.
Yeah, boy, that's a good assignment. That would have been a good one to get. Molly, this is a major undertaking. It is going to take a lot of people just to staff up all of the different components required to make this tournament run smoothly. How many people are we talking about?
So he was telling me that there's around 3,000 on the staff, and that's everything for logistics on the FIFA side of things, also monitoring any kind of general preparation. What else did he list out for me? Safety, security, transport, air transport, really every aspect they've got staffing allotted to make this run as smoothly as possible. Because again, you're talking 3 different countries. There's so many moving pieces.
and a lot for the athletes too. And maybe this is a question I should have asked Maria while she was in here, but it's just so much to manage and to juggle. Molly, you cover the city, you cover the state. You've been here for a number of years. Just in your reporting, not just today, but throughout the last year or two, have you picked up that a pretty wide array of political leaders on the state level, the municipal level, even the federal level, have had an eye towards, hey, this big event is coming and we got to start getting our ducks in a line?
Yeah, for at least the past year, I think any city council member or county leader that I've spoken with, if you say, by the way, how are FIFA preps going? Mayor as well, they will always have at least a couple of things to say about FIFA preps and what they've been working on for at least a year now, if not longer. That's at least a year publicly for us. So we always hear about, making sure the roadways are working out. Atlanta transportation is a big thing for us.
Yes.
We're talking with MARTA. We're talking with having the areas for people to come, staying, hospitality. So every little aspect, the airport as well.
World's busiest.
Absolutely.
Molly Oak, on that note, and a great segue, because we have another piece lined up we're going to go to in a moment. Molly, thank you. Thank you as always.
Yeah, go USA.
Go USA. And that's something we can all agree on here.